the NFL and their fines are getting out of control. Amon-Ra St. Brown, J.J. Watt just commented on, I believe, Brad, that he was fined for a certain block because of the use of his helmet. I don't even know what the hell's going on now.
Yeah. So J.J. Watt, and I'm trying to pull it up here as you were talking, has been pretty vocal about the fines that have been going out, and we've seen it. I think Pat Ricard got fined $10,000+ We saw OBJ also get fined $10,000+ for just throwing up the peace sign when there was no flags thrown. There was another unnecessary roughness. Guys, remind me, was the Vikings game last week. I think we saw that happen with. So there's been a lot that's been going on, and a lot of it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't really understand. And I was going to try to pull up the actual footage from this. The tweet here it is. Let me pull this up here.
I think while you're pulling it up real quickly, the bigger talking point, guys, Rock and Zach, is the NFL is trying to make the game safer, but these fines that they're handing out to some of their players, even though it looks very pedestrian. Like here it is for J.J. Watt talking about a recent fine, and you guys can read it, but I'll read it out loud. If you have to watch the video multiple times to try to figure out which person did something wrong and you still can't figure it out, we probably shouldn't be talking about this $43,709 fine and taking it from somebody.
Here's what fixes this, guys. I think the first offense, or quote unquote offense, should be a warning. Mm-hmm. I think the second offense, or quote unquote offense, should be maybe get suspended one game, or not suspended, but
that's when you should get like a $10,000 fine.
Yeah, a small fine. And then the third one should be suspension, because if you're a repeat offender when it comes to that, all right, you deserve to be suspended a game and potentially forfeit your game check. If you're continuing to do something that is frowned upon in the NFL, but like we don't even know what's right and what's wrong in the NFL anymore. Like if you're out there like making a standard block that doesn't look bad at all, you don't lower your head and you're just kind of going in and hitting a guy, why are you getting fined $40,000+ for that?
Is that this year? Is Amon-Ra at the top of the screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you see him come down and he makes this block right here. I don't know.
Yeah, can we slow? I don't know if we can slow that down.
What happened to the game?
He's at the 40-yard line right now. He's at the 40.
That's what he got fined for.
And then his head.
Yeah,
43,000.
He got hit. The Bears player's head kind of went back, but there's nothing there in that video that screams he should be fined or penalized or suspended.
Yeah,
so anything like that, man. It's ridiculous.
Just looked it up, and only thing I could find was through week 8 this year. So through the first 3 weeks of the NFL season this year, the NFL fined players for a total of $3.2 million.
I hate it for them, man. For the players, it's like Amon-Ra said it's like, what did he say? Like that's a percentage of my salary, like a big percentage of my salary.
Yeah, he's on his first contract, and he's not. Yeah, he was not a first-round pick.
Yeah, he's balling out. He's one of the best wide receivers, but people forget he wasn't a first round or second round. I think was he a 4th round pick? I forget what he was.
He was late second, but
I don't think he was a second round pick.
Why don't we do this then? And I'm all for officials because my dad's a former official. I officiated as well, Zach, despite popular opinion. I'm not making this about me. Thank you very much.
I knew he was going to make this about him.
So about Rocco.
But I'll say this. I think in the NFL, when officials are making a decent amount of money too, if you're going to fine the players, then hold the officials accountable too. I'm not saying fine them for every single missed call, but there's got to be consequences there as well. There absolutely does, because it's ridiculous. And if they're missing those plays, why aren't they being called into the office as well? Why aren't they being held accountable as well? Why aren't they getting a game taken off their schedule as well? It's like
not really just about that for me, Rocco, which I understand. And there's a lot of people that have made those arguments before, but I don't think that officials should get fined necessarily. I think that there just needs to be consistency across the board. I mean,
fine, but
well, I think the other part with that, Brad, before you keep going, is that this isn't the officials fining the players. This is the NFL fining it, going back and fining. The officiating part's a whole other different discussion where you can talk about missed calls or not. And being an official, people can get mad. That job is brutal
Yeah.
because you are rarely right. And if you like, meaning you're going to piss somebody off. Like that's the reality. A missed call, not missed call. The reality is not, you can be the best at what you do and still miss calls, but they are missing more calls than they should miss.
And that's what I was, getting to, is like the consistency of these fines and what constitutes unnecessary roughness. Because in that video that we saw, that we didn't see anything, we saw the same thing with Pat Ricard. And why is it that it's such a travesty that you have to fine somebody 5 figures for throwing up the peace sign, right? Like I think we saw this past week where an official actually went up to Tyreek and told him not to make a difficult decision on throwing a flag on an unsportsmanlike conduct. Like, it's just bullshit.
Which I like that from the official.
You can do whatever you want in the end zone, but if you are clearly like 80 yards away from somebody and you're getting ready to walk into the end zone, you can't throw up a peace sign just to be like, just in celebration. Like it's just such bullshit.
Yeah, you can't throw up the peace sign, but you can flip the bird to Rocco. That's okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, so I'm just now looking at real quick. So Amon-Ra, you were right. He's 4th round pick.
Yep.
He is making this year less than $1 million. So he had just had to forfeit
probably 10%.
Yeah, literally he just lost $43,000 for a blind. Okay, so here it says reason was blindside block. So it had nothing to do with how it was
the guy head on. Are you kidding me?
Blindside block against Chicago.
Truly in this economy.
Let's see that again.
Truly in this economy.
I need to see this blindside block.
Yeah.
Are we looking at the right player? Because I'm not seeing.
We're looking at the right play is what I want to know.
Yeah.
I think the fact that was JJ Watt's point. If we have to continue to look,
that was not a blindside
and
figure.
If the defender pushes his hands,
the defender is looking. He might be looking at the ball carrier, but he can see him in the peripherals. He's not hitting him like his head's not on a. Like
the defender literally went
ridiculous.
to push him off before he even got there.
He saw him coming the whole way.
Look at him.
Boom.
He tried to.
He did.
What has happened to the game I love?
Yeah. Well,
back in my day.
Back in your day. Well,
yesterday.
Bring football back.
Bring football back.
I get like you don't want guys going out and headhunting. I get that. You want player safety to come first with CTE obviously being a big deal, and you don't want these guys to have those long-term effects. But something like that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Not ideal. It's not what we call ideal for anybody involved. But hey, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way that the NFL is. And whether you like it or not, this is the problem. And people are going to continue to talk about it. But that is, imagine writing that. Oh, hey, here's your game check. Psych. That's actually going to the league. I don't know where the fines go. I should know more. Charity. Well, at least it's going somewhere.